Samurai must always fight with patience and discipline.
I'm Jin Sakai,
A sword of Clan Sakai
nephew of Lord Shimura.
has saved lives and ended wars.
I am Khotan, cousin of Kublai, grandson of Genghis.
The Mongol Empire is invading our home. They are brutal. Relentless. Unstoppable.
Enough! Help me save our home. It's not too late.
It belongs to them now. You are a warrior. I can see that. You trained your whole life for this.
When we fight, we face our enemy head on.
Samurai! Do you surrender?
Do you surrender? Cowards without honor deserve no mercy. No mercy!
With Ghost of Tsushima finally getting released on PC, I decided to come back and do another essay, albeit a very brief one this time. If you haven't already seen my original essay on the game, I will leave a link below in the description. Again, it's probably still one of my favorite essays alongside my essays for The Last of Us and my essay on Ubisoft, so that is in the description below, and you'll also find it in the various playlists on my channel. But let me not ramble, as I often do, and let's get into it. So, PlayStation players will already, they've already played this game. We've feasted on this game. We've enjoyed this game. But the game finally released on PC just this last week, or I think 2 weeks ago. I'm not too sure a timeline that I do remember launching on PC. But as always, whenever a big PlayStation title goes to PC, we sort of see a second wind given to the game as it brings new lives to a new player base that probably didn't get to experience the game in its highest form, because another advantage of all these games getting ported to PC is that they do get a massive graphics and fidelity upgrade, and of course all the mods that come in and start being added into games, and we start seeing, like just a second life. So I decided, let me just give a short little essay to introduce this new series I'm going to be doing on the channel called Masterpiece or Trash. So again, in popular culture, samurai are often portrayed with a mixture of romanticism and chivalric honor. They are presented with a strict code of honor that's thought of as heroic, but in reality, the life of a samurai was far more. The absolute devotion they had to their code could make them ruthless and cruel to the people they considered to be beneath. In many ways, a samurai was a walking contradiction. A warrior who was expected to draw their sword at a moment's notice, but was also meant to compose haikus, arrange flowers, and be the living embodiment of Japanese virtue. This complexity is full-on display in Ghost of Tsushima, a game that allowed my inner history geek to run free. A complex story of both honor, betrayal, and sacrifice. Now, just to run it back brief, Ghost of Tsushima follows the story of Jin Sakai, a 13th century samurai who must save Tsushima Island from a Mongol invasion. This Mongol invasion is led by the grandson of Genghis Khan, Khotan Khan. The story takes inspiration from the real-life invasion of Tsushima during the same time period, but the game is not bound by any historical accuracy. And I actually think this is what also makes the game so fun, because whilst they took historical accuracy inspiration, they just sort of ran with it and allowed themselves their own blank canvas to write the story they wanted to tell, whilst taking inspiration from historical accuracy, rather than trying to make a game that's true to history, because as we know with the internet, whenever you get something wrong or you change details, people get this. They kind of took the inspiration and then they just... Now, after the samurai are defeated, and Jin's uncle, Lord Shimura, is captured, Jin does everything in his power to save his family no matter. He becomes the Ghost, a larger-than-life figure that terrorizes the Mongols and gives hopes to the common folk. Ghost of Tsushima is every bit as atmospheric as games like Red Dead Redemption 2, as well as Zelda Breath of the Wild, which makes it even more infuriating when you see the Mongol army burn towns to grey rubble, or when the beautiful forest you're riding through ends abruptly because the Mongols have chopped down all the trees. Now, Jin's transformation from samurai to the ghost is one of the most compelling parts of the game, in my opinion. He's forced to reassess the meaning of honor and resort to tactics that are considered dishonorable by the samurai. Now, this change affects his closest allies, and Jin must decide how far he's willing to go to save his home. The Lord of Clan Sakai supporting cast is also an intriguing band of misfits and art. There's the legendary samurai archer Sensei Ishikawa, an Ana Burishida called Lady Masako, I'm pretty sure I butchered that word, the cynical thief Yuna, and an irrelevant sake merchant Kenji, who's actually one of my favorite characters in the game. Now, completing the companion side missions are welcome diversions from the main story, revealing multifaceted characters who are just as damaged as Jin. And again, Ghost of Tsushima is a romance, and that's reflected as well in the visuals, the gameplay, and even the way Jin lives and moves throughout the island of Tsushima. He's very comfortable. He's at home. And the love he has is obvious and ever-present throughout the storytelling and the gameplay. Pleasure is common in Ghost of Tsushima. Even though it's a very dramatic game, the visuals and story both emphasize that Tsushima is still a beautiful island, populated, and beleaguered by industrious and kind people. You can take baths in the hot spring, you can reflect on recent events, or feel so inspired that you can pause to write haiku. Now, when this game originally came out, a lot of the Ghost of Tsushima reviews involved praising the look of the game. And personally, again, I can't praise the graphics enough, and I spoke about this in length in my original video essay discussing the game. This game is beautiful. A wondrous Japanese fairy tale landscape full of cherry blossom, Shinto shrines, Buddhist temples, towns, and villages. Several times throughout the game, I had to stop and pause, take in the beauty of leaves falling in the forest, and the simplicity of a waterfall crashing into a river. Likewise, the game's navigation system, being able to use the guiding wind, was such a welcome feature because often in a lot of the games that we've seen, you often have to pause and open the map and, try and navigate and set markers and waypoints. Whereas in Ghost of Tsushima, once you set that, the HUD doesn't get bothered for you. You don't have to keep unlocking the HUD. The wind just guides you, and you can just marvel in the beauty of the game whilst following the wind. Now, for me, the gameplay is just enjoyable. A dynamic mixture of samurai sword swinging and ninja-like stealth attacks. Jin can engage enemies head-on and fight in epic katana battles, or he can go the stealth way and just ambush them, or blow them sky-high with powder bombs. Now, the player isn't restricted by either style and can switch effortlessly between samurai and ghost combat. And with this, we see that there is a time when preserving tradition is important to maintaining the cornerstones of society. But when it becomes detrimental at the cost of people's lives, that's when tradition becomes corruption, a means for slavery, rather than liberty. Now, Jin, as the Ghost of Tsushima, redefined the samurai code by adapting the strategies to defeat the Mongols, who are using the strictness of their code against him. Jin fortified his will by taking on the mantle of the Ghost, and it's how he became the unbreakable sword and shield Tsushima. For me, Ghost of Tsushima is the samurai game that the world had been so long waiting for. Again, when the game came out, we made all these jokes. This was finally Assassin's Creed Japan. And this is a bit ironic as well, given that at the end of this year, we actually finally do get Assassin's Creed Japan, but that's for a later discussion. Now, just to round this off, again, Ghost of Tsushima for me, at the time of its release, and at the time that I'm recording this in 2024, as it's being re-released on PC, I think it's a world that's packed full of rich historical context, complicated characters, and beautiful aesthetics. For me, the game is worth checking out in 2024, especially for anyone who hadn't already played it on PS4 and PS5, as this masterpiece finally comes to PC. Let me know down in the comments below, do you think this game is still worth it in 2024? Do you think it's a masterpiece? Or do you think it's trash? Peace out.
We end this together.
You forgot what it's like to fight someone stronger than you.
I swore to protect this island with my life. I failed. Again. Father, I couldn't save him. I was a coward.
Jin.
Father.
Your father's spirit resides within this blade. He is always with you. Tradition, courage, honor, they are what make us.
This is what makes us samurai.
We are the warriors of Tsushima.
We live by a code of honor. And sometimes we die by it.
We are samurai!